Last time on the Big LT, Landon's Adventure, the Weird Rolla. Did I ever tell you guys that there was an actual real sequel? So yeah, there's a sequel to the weird RPG-ish dream of mine that I made that video a few hours ago. And you know what? Since I'm going to stay up a little longer tonight because I only have online school and I get to do my work whenever time I want because the school actually says that we're able to. I can just sleep in, then do my work later, unless my dog lets me do that because usually she doesn't let me sleep in or my sister when we're home alone. She requires at least my mom or dad to be home. So, yeah, it's probably not going to be a good idea. But who cares? I'm doing it for the viewers. So the sequel, it's not the best dream that I ever had, but at least it's a sequel to the other one. It actually is connected to the same timeline and everything, basically, because there's a little mention to the first dream, because I do sometimes I do have dreams, and then sometimes I can return to those dreams, and I can return to those dreams, or some little detail can return to another dream of mine that happened once. There's one time where had a dream of highway turned into an actual highway, like turned into a bigger highway, like Highway 63, and there was a tower that was being built there. It was tall enough to have a beacon, but since it was being built, it was beaconless at the time, and it was a disappointment because I woke up without ever seeing what beacon it'll ever get. Well, guess what? I gotta tell you something. I don't know how much time went by, but I had another dream, and I got to revisit that location. And guess what? The tower had a dual strobe. Yeah, kind of weird. That's one example of returning of something returning to a dream. Here's another example. It's the same. It was this example here. It's not actually, it's not the same. It's actually a different dream, since there's some more details here. Well, basically, there's this old small long lines tower that was in the middle of the forest, but you're able to see it in the distance from the highway. Basically, it had one mega fat incandescent beacon on it. Like, holy crap, it was the fattest thing ever. Even if it was from a distance, I could see how fat it was. It was probably as wide as a TV. Or actually, no, not as wide as a TV. It was actually smaller, but you get what I mean. It was that wide. And then there's some smaller incandescent beacons with it as well on the side on top of the tower, but on the sides of each you know how long line towers, the platforms there are squared. Well, there's at least one normal sized incandescent beacon on each side of the top square platform. Yeah, it only had one set of markers as well. It would have been nice that a tower actually existed. But that returned in another dream of mine, and this was a while ago. I can say it was probably 2018 or late 17. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's been a while. I don't remember much. So yeah, there's that. And this here is going to be another example of something returning in a different dream that I already dreamed about once. So keep in mind, I did not have any control of any of these dreams. I was not lucid dreaming. I was my dream was just created, and I didn't control it. So everything that happened was meant to happen and stuff, like a giant plot twist, like an actual plot twist in a dream that will happen. So yeah, this is not the world's best sequel ever to anything. There's not much in this dream that I remember. I'm just going to point out the details I remember. So yeah, let's get into this. It started with both me, my sister, and my friend from the last dream. We're on we're on the trail that's behind our house, and it's called the Acorn Trail, but basically it was very snowy and very slick. That was slick enough to where we could sled on it, which I don't know why we did that, because there's the inclines on that walking path are very slim, they're not very steep, but they do feel steep when you walk up them or ride your bike up them or something like that. So that's something bad for overweight people like me. But yeah, we're just having fun sledding, and this is the best representation. This is the best picture I can get of what the moment looked like. Trees around, but you are missing the houses, and the Acorn Trail is smaller. Oh, and you're also missing the creek that's right next to it as well. So yeah, that's the only things that you're really missing. So yeah, there it is. We're just randomly sledding, and we slid to the other side of my neighborhood, and for some reason this tower in real life is far away from my house. It's still in Rolla, but it's not anywhere to where you're able to see it from my house or anything, because trees, houses, all that stuff. But it was this tower right here. For some reason, it was closer to my house, even though it was at the same location. Like I remember, I seen it, and and all of a sudden I was taken to the actual area that this was at, like the side of the highway, just farther down there. Like I don't know, but I noticed that there's people working on top of it, and I eventually found out that they were literally replacing the night mode only LEDs that this tower has with single strobes. Not too sure what type of single strobes they were, but they were probably white only. So yeah, very weird. They were replaced with single strobes, so that means that the tower willed its strobe lights in the dream. I never seen it with its LEDs in the dream. That kind of sucks, right? Because old school LEDs are my favorite out of the horrible LED trash crap. So yeah, there's that. That's probably my favorite thing related to the dream. So yeah, there's that. I seen that. I was like, For some reason, I was actually excited about the beacon change, even though that if this happened today, I would feel sad about it, because I grew up with the way the tower was and with the beacons that it has on it. I wouldn't want that to change. But in the dream, I was actually happy about the beacon change because strobe lights. So, me and my friend were just sledding again, and I don't remember anything that really happened from this part of the story. Well, from this part of the dream, because it's been a while since I had this dream. I never returned to it. Yeah, kind of weird. So yeah, I never returned to this dream. But there are some key stuff that I remember from like the sledding, the tower. Um, then you know how I couldn't remember anything else after that. After the unknown crap, there is one thing that is known. One of the most memorable things that I probably will remember forever. I randomly went to some store some little shop that looked like a log cabin that was much bigger than this. As you can see, it's much bigger than this. It was not this small. But basically, I walked inside there. I don't really know why. And there's a lady at the counter there, just like, "Oh, hello, how you doing?" I don't remember whatever happened there, but I guess I was trying to get something. And then there's an old man that there's an attic inside the store, and he walked up the attic, and he's like, "Oh, hey there," and I was like, "Oh, hey," and basically, I was just like, "Oh, I need whatever," and then they give it to me. They give it to me. I buy it. You know how stuff works. We went to some. Me and my family went to a giant indoor playground to have fun and stuff. You know, and then I do remember there was an inflatable playground, and basically there's a hole that led to the other side of all the other stuff, like more of the playground. Ah, crap. All right, I just had to clear my throat there, which I think I'll have to do again soon, but yeah, I can hold off. So my friend was just like, we need to go through we need to go over to the other stuff to see how all that stuff is, and and I was like, but how do we do that? There's a net blocking it and walls. And he's just like, oh, you actually got to crawl through this small hole that goes this through this giant inflatable playground. And he went through it no problem, and I seen him from the other side, but I was just too squeamish too because it was a very small space, and I hate very small spaces, not like closets and all that. I don't have that type of claustrophobia. My type of claustrophobia is literally just being trapped in a tiny tunnel, or just a very tiny space to where you can't move at all. And in this little hole tunnel thing that was in the inflatable playground, you basically had to crawl in it, and it was very long as well. So I don't think I had the balls to do it in the dream. So I tried, but I don't remember what happened, if I succeeded or not. If I do have to say so myself, I wish I found some image that perfectly represents the indoor playground inside the dream. Basically, it was not filled to the brim with what you see white and blue balls, or are those cotton block things? I'm not too sure. They're probably that cotton crap that you'll that not cotton. It's some material that is used for some beds, mattresses. You know, I think. But oh crap! I had to yawn there. But yeah, it was somewhat like this, but the floor was actually a floor and not this crap here. So you're actually able to walk and stuff. Everything was much bigger. There were slides and giant like castle type structures. You know, something that you'll see from something like this. You see, there's a lot of slides, tubes, and netting, and just metal bars everywhere. That's just very tall. That's basically what it was. But the inside of the building itself, I can't find a perfect picture of what it looked like. But basically, the walls were whitish yellow, and the light was all white. So yeah, that's basically what how it was, and it was pretty big as well. I remember the inflatable stuff being in the back of the store, like the very back wall, and that leads outside and stuff. So yeah, just like my room is behind my house. Well, it's just behind my house. The wall, two of the walls actually lead outside if you decide to break them open. Like every single person's room, really. It sucks how I'm not able to find a perfect picture of what the playground looks like. So yeah, there's that. Well, guys, I'm not very sure how to describe this next part of the dream, but this part here has to be one of the most memorable parts of the dream. I cannot find a single picture of what the atmosphere and city looked like, but it was not raw. anything but it was anything but Raleigh. It was a different, bigger city, I think. But we're in a smaller part of it. We were nearing the exit, like the city limits. But basically, I remember going up this road that led up to a giant highway with a giant roundabout. And you could see the city, but it wasn't, the sun was not setting, the lights were not on. It was normal, and there's a lot of bodies of water as well. A lot, along with a lot of modern looking buildings and stuff. And I also remember some old man, or some old people joining us with our family, helping us on get through this area. I think that's how it went. I really don't remember. There's a lot of stuff that I'm able to still feel how I can still kind of relive those, but it's just hard to explain how it was and stuff. I forgot this and that, but I known what the area was and all that. So there it was. That's that. It was a weird part of the dream, but it was very pretty, really. A nice view of some non-existent city, nice non-existent indoor playground, and all that stuff. You guys should really look at my search history while making this video along with the other video. Just look at this. So remember how I told you that this dream was relatively short? Well, guess what? We're starting to get into the final stuff here. The indoor playground arc of this dream is the center point of it all. It's basically the middle. And so far, we really haven't gotten any enemies yet, really. So we went we went back to the store the log cabin store to get something else. And then the lady made a mistake, and the guy kind of got onto her like, "All right, but how many mistakes are you going to make now?" And the lady she's like, "I'm sorry, sorry. I'll try not to do it again." And it's kind of like normal business stuff. Like you make a mistake, you apologize for it if you want to. Really, I don't know anybody who doesn't apologize for their mistakes. But we left the store again, and then for some reason we went back home, and actually fell asleep in a dream. It's kind of weird sleeping in a dream. And I also had a dream inside that dream. Basically, the dream was actually telling me of what's to come. Basically, this is the part where we get a little flashback from the previous dream story thing. So basically, I was taken back to the final fight of the first RPG, the first dream at least. And some voice told me that the dark power that the hooded person, which we found out was some guy who was helping us around the time. The dark power that he absorbed to stop crack kids from taking over Rala, basically. Basically, that dark power is actually a part of a greater being that was sealed away a long time ago, and there are still pieces of his power that he's able to control. If he absorbed too much of that, then you can be controlled. And just like the other dream, the hooded person absorbs some of that dark power, and he barely could control it at all. He didn't have much control of it. It was only his it was only I really don't remember how things went really, but basically he broke out of this semi control state, and used the dark power to his fullest advantage. and just created a giant dark knight to try to defeat me and my friend. And then me and my friend fought him and finished him. Well, we defeated him, and some fairy finished him off and killed him. Basically, yeah, kind of weird. But basically we're we're just here's one scene that was not in the actual the last dream. Basically, after the guy got stabbed with the wooden plank sword thing, he got up and risen, and he's just like, "I'm not going to be defeated today." So he used the last remaining power from him and the dark power that did not leave his body yet, like a after effect or something like that, where he's still able to use some of it to his advantage. So he tried to use that to heal, and basically some random voice came around and told him that you're not in control, and you're not in control. And basically his skin started to turn night sky black. That's all I can really say without sounding racist. But that's what he turned into. It's like a giant spider web. Just like his skin turned into like some. It looked like a shadowy. It looked like a shadow of a spider web just taking over his body, basically. And like I said earlier, none of this was in the other dream, so this was something completely new. So yeah, that's basically what it was. And then I woke up, and for some reason I walked back into the cabin store, and the lady made a the lady at the front register made a mistake again. And then the old man was, well, she was so apologetic to the owner, the old man, and she's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I know you told me not to do this again, but I promise it just I'll do anything." And basically the old man got very pissed off at her, and just like, "This was your last straw," and just pulled her by her shirt down to the basement where he would usually come out of. And I followed him in there, and what I seen was a very morbid thing to see in a dream, especially at my age then, was probably 13 or early 14. I'm not really sure. So I walked into the basement with them, and basically there's like a few more, like a lot of other workers. Were all wearing white robes and all that stuff that are tied up to logs, and some of them were tied up to some pillars, and their mouths were touched were their mouths were taped shut. They couldn't do anything, and I asked the lady, "What is this?" And I asked the old man as well. The old man didn't reply, and the lady was just like, "For the people, for the employees who make too many mistakes, we're locked down here and to starve and die." And basically, that's what she told me in the dream. And the old man was just like, "How dare you reveal what I do?" And basically turned into this giant spider thing. Like he had like eight legs. His normal legs turned into spider legs, but his actual body was still normal. And his eyes turned into his eyes turned purple, and he actually grew some more eyes for the spider look. And then his normal human purple eyes got some bloodshot red pupils. I remember that. It was a very cool moment in the dream. It's one of my favorite moments in the dream, really. And basically the lady's just like, "We need to escape this place now." And we escaped the place. She told me to actually go into the Walmart to buy spider poison and a lot of it so we can try to kill this guy. And it's kind of weird, but I actually did it. So I got a lot of spider poison and other poisons for different bugs, and basically we went back to the cabin. The lady gave me this sword that literally came out of nowhere and told me to let the sword absorb the poisons, and I did, and it worked, and the sword turned purple, and the sword was quote unquote activated by the lady, by the lady's words, not mine, but you know, I don't know much about this really. And here's another one of my favorite parts. This is probably one of my favorite final bosses in any of these streams, really. So this it's my second favorite. My first favorite, my all-time favorite final boss to any of these five dreams is, it has to be the first one, since it's very weird. It was at a Walmart, and I remember it being fun. And there's actually a betrayal, like it's like a top 10 anime betrayal thing. So that's how it was. And this spider dude actually climbed this tower right here, and I followed in his footsteps and climbed up there as well. We made it to the top of the tower. Basically, I got my sword out and just like, I'm going to kill you. And this spider like old man guy is just like, not if I do it first, and creates webs here and there, try to capture me and basically wrap me up in webs and throw me off the tower to kill me. And we had this little battle. It wasn't much, but at least it was on top of a cell tower like this one. It's tall enough to have more than one beacon as well. So yeah, very tall. I think it may have been, I don't know how tall this is. Probably 300 feet. I don't know, but yeah, it was pretty wacky. It was full of whack. Eventually, just after fighting and fighting, I eventually actually used a sword to just to stab the spider old man dude, and all the poison literally was ejected into his body. He basically instantly died, and his corpse fell off of the tower, and everybody basically forgot he existed after that. Life went back to normal, and it was still winter, so we had to deal with the cold. So imagine snow everywhere around here. And I don't think my parents really care if I actually saved Rala once, and saved some employees as well from this spider like superhuman old man thing. I don't know, but that's how it was. That's how it all played out. I don't really remember the ending. The thing that sucks is how my friend, the friend who helped me beat the main antagonist of the last stream, did not help me to beat the main antagonist and final boss of this stream here. So that's kind of a disappointment of the dream. I went solo to defeat him, and I did it all by myself. Yeah, it was a pretty quick battle, I remember as well. Well, it is a dream. Everything in my dream is quick. I heard that dreams last like only a few seconds, I think, but I'll literally be going on full on missions, really. Kind of like this here. I'll be trying to save Rala from this hooded figure person. Then a few seasons later, I'll save some employees from this spider like old man superhuman person. And yeah, and for some reason my mom really didn't pay too much attention to that, or my dad either. I don't think any of my family really did. But in the first stream, I remember my grandma on my dad's side was shocked of how I saved Rala and defeated the villain inside of a Walmart supercenter. Yeah, kind of weird. It's kind of weird how the hooded figure was revealed to be the man that was helping us this entire time inside of a Walmart, sitting on a metal chair, and puts on a pouty face to tell us that he hated us this entire time, and all in the front of the store while chasing his three servants. Yeah, kind of weird. But the ending of the dream is something to remember very much, especially for the three other dreams that I have. At the end of the dream, there's something that flashed into my head, and I was revealed to a future villain that would be very important to this entire dream series. I wish I was able to call it a trilogy, but this is not all in three dreams. It's in five, so I don't know what to call that. Can I call it a series or something? I don't know, but I really wish I can call it a trilogy so I can call it the best dream trilogy in the entire world. But I can't. But basically, whoever it was kind of had a big round head, and kind of looked like a ghost. I don't remember this guy's appearance that much, but this is the best I can do. What's this describing who this guy looks like? It's kind of like the hooded figure from the first stream, but basically, he flashed into my head, and basically, the dream told me that this guy's going to be important in the future of this storyline, I guess. I don't know. So, basically, that's it. That is how the ending of this dream plays out. And then I wake up out of bed, and I was just like, man, I'm tired. Or maybe I think my dad actually woke me up that time because he was going to work, and he goes to work around 4 5 o'clock. So yeah, he'll wake me up when he walks around and tries to get my backpack to pack my lunch for school. And yeah, that usually wakes me up a lot. So that's probably how the dream really ended, is because my dad kind of woke me up today. So there's that. It was not that interesting. It's not that interesting as the first one. I promise the third one is more interesting. I remember it being more interesting. It's kind of more like a RPG, not some story. The first one is kind of like an RPG as well. So yeah. Um, we're just going to be waiting for that one. I'm going to make that tomorrow, hopefully. So I don't know why I said hopefully. I do have all the time to do whatever I want and right now tomorrow. So yeah, I will. I will be doing this shortly. Well, I will be talking about the third dream, part 3 of all of this crap tomorrow. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.